I thought this fantasy football strategy sucked until I started playing around with it a little bit and I started putting together some amazing teams. Today, we're going to help you out with your drafts, help you out with your strategies by covering the Hero RB strategy and how to win with it for your drafts coming up. Before we dig in though, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're covering all the draft strategies. We're covering the rankings. We just dropped one yesterday. Go check that out on the wide receivers. We're going to help you set your lineups and find those gems off the waiver wire. It's all here for free. Click that button. Stop missing out. But the Hero RB draft strategy is very intricate but simple, but a nice game plan for structure for your drafts. And when you start off, you're looking at the first couple rounds here, and you want to get your hero running back. Pick your preference. Obviously, it's going to be different depending on where you're drafting, but pick your guy. Then after that, you're definitely slamming wide receiver throughout the middle of the draft while strategically drafting your quarterback and tight end. You're going to feel like you're going to be weak at the RB2, but you're going to have extra ammo for the back end of the draft to draft those lottery ticket running backs and those cheaper RB2s that you can get to round out the top of your depth chart to get you by until your lottery tickets start to hit. Depending on your draft, your format, where you're drafting, here are the Hero RBs that you're looking at. Some of these guys might go in your second round. Some of them might fall to the third round. But you're looking at some of the top running backs in the draft. You're picking one, and then you're rolling the dice with the wide receivers, getting thick at wide receiver. There's a lot of good talent at the top of the draft. You pick your poison, you roll with it, you pick the running back of your choice. Here's how the first 3 rounds could look like in your draft. If you're drafting early, it could be Bijan, Saquon, maybe Tyreek Hill, T. Higgins. Down the middle, like 106, 105, 104, somewhere around there, maybe like a Jahmyr Gibbs, a Lad McConkey, Devontae Adams. Off the turn, maybe Derrick Henry, Drake London, Mike Evans. This is all based off of Underdog ADP. Could be different in your league, especially if your league covets running backs, which means some of the third-round running backs will be leaking into the second round, and you might go wide receiver, running back, then wide receiver. Really depends on your format, your league, how things go in your draft, but you should know your league. When it comes to the middle rounds of your draft, you're slamming wide receiver. There's something I do not like about this draft strategy. We're going to talk about that here in a bit, but you're also strategically looking at tight end and quarterback and taking the values in your guys there, but you're slamming wide receiver. You got a lot of quality there, and you also look at the grid here below me. You're seeing a lot of wide receivers right there in the middle. You're seeing a lot of people implement this strategy throughout their drafts. I hate this part. I am missing out of the top of the RB dead zone. There's no RB dead zone this year, but talking about the zone of the draft, the early middle rounds here, you got a fork in the road. You got the top tier rookie running backs from Trevion Henderson, RJ Harvey, Caleb Johnson, or you got some good dependable RB2s that you can pair with that Hero RB. You're missing out on that. And I hate this part of the draft. I do not fully like all these draft strategies. I kind of look at them as structure. You can pivot whenever you want to pivot. Maybe you're good at wide receiver and you're like, hey, I don't like what's on the board here. I can pluck one of these running backs and then keep pounding wide receiver, tight end, quarterback until I get to the double-digit rounds. And maybe that's fine for you. I covered a strategy with that earlier this summer. It's a strategy I created. But again, you're looking at this part of the draft. I absolutely hate this part of the strategy. But the wide receivers are nice, and you're racking them up on your team. You're getting 3, 4 of these stud wide receivers, some upside plays, dependable veterans, guys that are going to get wide receiver 1 numbers. You're looking at some of these guys, they're going to get you 5 wide receiver 1 weeks. Some of them more, some of them a little bit less. Some of them are going to be dependable, and some of these guys are even going to break out. And you're looking at a lot of juice here in the middle of the draft at wide receiver, and you can get racked up, jacked up with steadiness and upside early. J-Mo, Devonta, Jordan Addison, Sam Laporta, Cooper Kupp, Bo Nix. Down the middle, DJ Moore, Jalen Waddle, Ricky Pearsall, Matthew Golden, Baker Mayfield, Mark Andrews. On the turn, Terry McLaurin, Rome Odunze, Chris Olave, Josh Downs, TJ Hawkinson, Dak Prescott. There's talent up and down the board there at wide receiver, and you take the quarterback and tight end of your choice with your strategy. I like to go late round tight end. I like to go late round quarterback, but sometimes I pull the trigger when the value's just right at those positions, but you're going to be racked up at wide receiver. It's time to go full on Chad and just draft running backs. We're going to go with our upside plays. If there's some dependable veterans that we like, we're going to snatch them up, and the board's going to look a little different from ADP, especially in home league drafts. Here, if you get a couple RB2s falling in this range, get them. On top of that, while you're plucking wide receivers off the board, you're probably going to create another run on wide receivers in one of those rounds, and probably a running back or two might fall to you, giving you a good RB2. That could happen, especially in a home league draft where it's not a bunch of experienced gamers, but you're looking at this, you got a lot of upside plays. We're going full Chad mode right now. We're double dipping at the running back position here, and we're getting as many running backs as possible. We're going to round out with some vets here to pair with our RB1, our hero, and we're going to kill it with upside running backs. A lot of lottery ticket plays. And those lottery ticket running backs that we're going to be looking at here in the double-digit rounds are running backs that are dispensable with the waiver wire. So if we see another running back or a wide receiver killing it on the waiver wire that we want to pick up, we can turn and burn them. And there's a lot of good rookie running backs this year. Compared to last year, there was like 4 or 5 good rookie running backs. This year, there's about 20. There's guys that are going undrafted that could potentially hit in fantasy football. So working the waiver wire, working the lottery ticket running backs is something you definitely have to do this year. I suggest no matter what method you use when you draft your team, keep a spot open on your bench for a lottery ticket play. Most likely at running back, there's a few wide receivers. That way you can turn and burn that spot. On top of that, some of these lottery ticket running backs after injuries are going to jump into a situation where they can hit for you. But dude, you can rack up the running backs. You can get your upside plays. You can get some vets. You can sprinkle in some upside plays at wide receiver, other positions as well. While you're implementing this strategy, it really depends what falls to you down the board and what you like. But you can rack it up, and while injuries hit, you're going to take advantage of those upside players who could turn around your league, like a Cam Scatterbo, a Ray Davis. Javonte Williams might be the RB1 for Dallas, and you're looking at some of the other running backs that are killing it right now in training camp, like a Braylon Allen. You can make a sexy team drafting early, picks 1, 2, 3, 4, getting like a Bijan, Saquon, and racking up with the wide receivers, getting a good quarterback and tight end to mix with that. You look at the bench, it's kind of scary, but once injuries start to hit, and once the waiver wire starts getting active, you can turn and burn. You can get some of those players, mix and match throughout the season. You're not married to some of these guys. Like, you're not going to be married to Ramondre Stevenson. You can drop him for the flavor of the week. Tyjae Spears is banged up, but he might be getting some touches down the line. Rachaad White is a running back that can be productive, but you got Sean Tucker lurking. But you're stacked at wide receiver. You're 3 deep with studs. Your flex is solid. You got extra to go along there. If bye weeks hit, you're good. And then you're going to start racking up running backs off the waiver wire. I like drafting down the middle too. You can get some good players there. You can pick some veterans that can help you out and get you production in the later rounds. On top of that, you can still get your upside plays. Like, we got an Eckler mixed in there with Gibbs. But look at the wide receivers. Adams, McConkey, Moore, Pearsall, Waddle. You're jacked up. Matthew Golden's probably going to be the wide receiver 1 for the Packers. You're looking at this team. You're looking at some upside with Jaden Blue and Dylan Sampson as they're getting more work with their new teams. And now you're looking at a team here that's very strong. And the weakness is at RB2. But it's not super weak. You can still moneyball this throughout the season. What I like about the turn is you can double pluck your positions here as it falls to you. You can get your running back and get your wide receiver. And if the board doesn't fall to you, it's very easy to abort because you're looking at 2 picks back to back right there on the turn. So you don't have to be married to this strategy. I look at it as structure, not strategy that you have to be locked into. But you can get yourself a veteran in the double-digit rounds. You can get you your Derrick Henry, Devin Achane, rack it up at wide receiver. You're tough there at flex as well. You got a good tight end. Your bench is solid with upside running backs. James Cook goes down. Tyron Tracy goes down. Breece Hall goes down. Christian McCaffrey goes down. You're rocking solid. You already got their backup, and you're going to insert them into your lineup. To recap, you're going to be top heavy with your hero RB, but you're going to be super deep at wide receiver. You don't have to worry about flex. You don't have to worry about wide receiver. If you get hit up with injuries, that's a problem that's going to happen with any team, but you're going to smash up those upside plays in the double-digit rounds. You're going to be loaded with lottery tickets. You're going to be kind of weak at RB2. You're just going to be cheaper there because you're going to find one in the double-digit rounds because it's so deep at running back this year. But you're still going to have a lot of lottery tickets, but you must work the waiver wire. If you suck at working the waiver wire, if you're scared at dropping one of those double-digit round running backs for the flavor of the weak running back, that's where you're going to get hurt. That's where it's not going to work for you. How it sucks is if your hero RB goes down, or if we're not seeing many injuries this year like we did a couple years ago, because last year we did not see many injuries at the running back position. The year prior, we didn't either. So you're kind of betting on attrition. But zero RB, you're kind of married to it. At least you got your hero RB to rock it out. You're loaded up with lottery ticket running backs. And this is a better running back class than last year. Matter of fact, it's the best running back class of all time. And we're loaded with prospects. We're going to see some rookies take over the league this year down the line. Whether it's week 1, week 10, week 9, whatever. We're going to see some change this year at the running back position, and you're going to be ready for it, and you're going to see some waiver wire picks come up, but you're going to be in a position to pick them up a week early when you see the touches increase, the routes increase, when you see the potential start to shine through on the stat sheets, and we will be here for you going over the numbers every day off the waiver wire so you can get those players early. You must hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss out on that. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What strategy are you using? We covered about all the strategies here on the channel, sometimes multiple times with different looks. Let me know what you think, though. Hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.